About 75% of our United States, we are eating powdered in low fruit, right? A lot of sugar, right? Which is really, really bad. We don't eat enough fruits and vegetable. And it says that 1 out of 10 person or people meet the recommendation of fruit and vegetable, meaning that not a lot of people are eating vegetable and fruits.
Eat healthy, right? So we want to eat at least 2 to 2.5 cup of fruit and vegetable every day. So it's 4 to 5 serving a day. Challenge yourself. Always challenge yourself to add more vegetable and more fruit during the day.
So everything you eat is gonna affect how you feel in the long terms, and all these inflammations with the pesticide, the chemical, the hormones, it's gonna be all over your body, and that's gonna make us more vulnerable and more sicker.
There are those traditional dishes you don't want to mess with. And so you don't have to. You can still have maybe a smaller portion of what you normally would eat and then add a salad on the side, or use your snack time to get your fruits and vegetables in. Yessica talked about taking fruit on the go with you and using those times. The recommended serving, they said, was 4 to 5 per day. So it doesn't say when you have to have them. You can use your snack times for fruits and vegetables. I think what stops people from eating fruits and vegetables is maybe the way they were raised. We just kind of go with what we know. And like we mentioned in the program, if you don't know that you're supposed to have 4 to 5 fruits and veggies a day, or you didn't grow up with recipes that were really focused on having half of your plate fruits and vegetables, then you don't know to do that. So
just cook your own food at the beginning, modify it, don't give up on that, don't quit. You did it today, didn't taste good, let me put more pepper, let me put this. Next day, just don't give up on yourself, because veggie and fruits are what's gonna help you to live longer and live with no disease. So we're gonna all talk about how to add more colors and crunch and flavors to what we eat, right? The fruits and the vegetable, right? That's the main point. So most of the time, as a registered nurse, I teach my clients how to eat as a rainbow, right? You go to the market basket, the stores, right, and think about rainbow and add colors and crunch and the flavors you decide to do it at your house, right, at your taste. So let's talk about how to eating 2 to 2.5 cups to 4 to 5 serving a day. All right. So adding colors to the vegetable, the products that we eat is very, very important. Why? Because it's definitely something that we are not raised to since we're little, right? Depending where you are, to eat vegetable and fruit, especially if you are not accessible to it. So one of the ways that I teach my clients, my patients, is to always add color to your plate, right? So it's always recommended to eat 2 to 2.5 cups, right? So means it's simple, it's 4 to 5 serving to throughout the day. So it could be in the morning, you add vegetables such as fruit, meal, you can snack a fruit or a veggie, or in your dinner, right? Each fruit and vegetable every day as part of your overall healthy diet. Why? Because it reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, and including heart attack or stroke and many other diseases. So therefore, we want to talk to you about all this, how to give some tips how to do this more normal and introduce it to your daily life. And most of the thing that I love to talk about is what are the benefit, right? What are the benefit of eating fruits and vegetable? And it's definitely the reason why behind is because we want to live longer and healthier. And that's basically bottom line, the benefit why we need it. And most of the thing is because eating vegetable and fruits is going to help you to manage your weight. It's going to help you with blood pressure. It's going to reduce the risk of cancer, such as, for example, colon cancer, right? Reduce the risk of chronic health disease, such as diabetes. And also, the most important as well is support a healthy digestion, which is going to give you a very healthy gut, which everybody needs a healthy gut. What is the problem? The main problem in reality nowadays is that most people, right, now we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, and that is a problem, right? About 75% of our United States, we are eating we are eating pattern in low fruit, right? A lot of sugar, right? Which is really, really bad. We don't eat enough fruits and vegetable. And it says that 1 out of 10 person or people meet the recommendation of fruit and vegetable, meaning that not a lot of people are eating vegetable and fruits. Not a lot of people are aware the benefit of it. And that's why we are here today, to help you be an advocate for your community and to your family and to yourself, first of all, right? And one of the things that I was very surprised is that men, right, and younger adults are the fewest that eat fruits and vegetables. So that means it gave us the idea that we need to promote more awareness to these people, because definitely we want them to have a healthier and longer life. So here in this line is so beautiful. See, I said that you're gonna see this rainbow. I love rainbow. My daughter loves rainbow. She's like, Mommy, I want rainbow. And what is the serving, right, of fruit that you need to eat, right? The following are sample serving that we need to eat. So let's say an example, 1 medium apple, right? That's great for snack, for your breakfast. All these fruit you can add it to your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your dinner. And it's colorful. I love this color. They're bright, they look beautiful. 1 small banana. Don't try to eat the whole banana or 2 small banana. Try to eat 1 banana. Half of medium avocado, which is such a good healthy fat. It's delicious. It's so good for your gut. It helps for your skin, for everything. And 4 large strawberries. So that's like the mostly people will pick, because you eat one and you want to eat it all from the packet. So it's something that I always recommend. At least eat 4 large strawberry, because it's very, very good, very delicious. And as I mentioned before, we are recommended for you to eat at least 4 to 5 servings a day. Like I mentioned again, you can eat it in your breakfast, you can eat it in your lunch and your dinner, and you can alternate how you want it. And the portion is very important as well, like I mentioned in this page. And what are the serving, right? If you think about it, what are the serving of our vegetable, right? Not a lot of people are raised with eating all this vegetable, but guess what? This is what are the benefits that we need for our body to live longer, right? So, for example, we have, it says 5 to 8 broccoli florets, which is really, really good, right? We're gonna have, for example, 6 baby spinach. My daughter loves spinach, and we usually eat it with hummus, right? She loves it. Half of a large sweet potato. Sweet potato is really, really one of the carbs that are very healthy, right? It has the same calorie as the potato. However, the sweet potato is better, has a better digestion, and it helps you to have, it give you more fiber to your body, okay? And 1 cup of raw spinach. And again, I'm gonna recommend it's 4 to 5 serving, or 2 to 2.5 per serving. What other alternative you can go when you go to the supermarket? What are the best results, right? What are the tips that you're giving me? Well, I'm gonna give you the tips that it doesn't matter if it has to be fresh, right? You can go to the supermarket and get the frozen one as well, and also the in a can, right? They have in a can. Obviously, a lot of people think it's more processed, but let me tell you something. We just need to start eating more vegetable and fruits, right? So it add up to being healthy, right? Fresh frozen can and dry veggie and fruits are very healthy as well. We also can do half of our plate. So what I recommend to my patient too is that if you have a plate, right, just do half of veggies and fruits, and then the rest could be carbs and protein. That's a good choice if you see a whole plate. I wish I could show you mine, but I don't have it ahead. So choose a whole fruit or vegetable as possible. Like if you go to work, just bring an apple or banana or 4 strawberry, right? Those are things that you can eat, have accessible next to you, because that's the problem when we don't have accessibility of products that we need. Try to eat many vegetable, just like I mentioned, a rainbow. I always talk about a rainbow. Just see the different, try it. Don't say you don't like it without not trying, because the benefits are there and they're amazing. Also, they said that if you are gonna look for your own package, make sure it says 100% fruit juice, right? No added sugar, because that's what it is. When they sell those juices, right, that is making people being diabetic early age, is because they have, it says 100% fruit juice, but they have added sugar, and that is a problem. That's fructose going to your liver and your body, and you don't want that. So make sure we are reading our labels when we buy those food, especially young, for our younger kids, right? Also look at the low sodium and salt added to the vegetable as well, because as you mentioned, salt is really good to maintain for longer period the vegetable and the fruit. So make sure it says no salt added. What other ways, right? So you might be thinking of right now, what other ways to be creative with eating fruits and vegetable, right? We are not accustomed to do it every day, and you want to start this healthy lifestyle, right? Well, how can we do it? But let me tell you something. What can you do? You can dip them, sip them, and freeze them. And how can you do it? You can cut those veggies into little pieces and clip it and eat it and dip it with hummus, like I do with my daughter, I mentioned before, and low fat salad dressing. That's a very good idea. Always prepare it before you go to work and bring it with you. Being accessible is a very important point, right? Also, drink fruits and veggie in a smoothie and put a lot of color. Like, let's say in the morning, wake up, you want pineapple, you want mango, you want apple, you want, just put some veggie too. Just add some veggie. You will not notice the taste of the spinach. I do it all the time. So it's something that you can do. Smoothies are such a good way for you to incorporate those fruits and veggie, and you will not taste those veggie. I promise. My daughter does it, and she's like, "Mommy, it's yummy." So I believe she can do it. You can do as well. Also, you can do freeze those fruit, like the fruit juice, the one that says 100% into ice cube tray, and make it like a mini popsicle. That's a really good idea for you too. And if you're a mom as well, just try to incorporate it so your kids can start doing this early age, right? And also another thing is to freeze the fruits like banana, slice it, and also add grapes, and those are like, freeze them in a Ziploc bag, and that would be a very good treat if you go to work and you get out and you need something to eat and you feel like you need the sugary rising, right? You want that, but those are the good idea you can do at home for you and your family. That's very, very good tricks. And just being creative is part of this. It's part of starting, right? Being creative, because obviously it's part of life. But think about the benefit of eating all these veggies and fruits. I promise you, it will save your life and you will live longer. Meal, every meal that you can do. And I'm gonna be honest. This is what I do every day. Like, I love for breakfast, right? I incorporate banana, like for my breakfast. I can do cereal, but I add banana, I add raisin, I add berries to my cereal because they are very good antioxidants, and I know they provide all this benefit for myself, for my body, right? All this fiber that makes me be regular. And I chop it, and sometimes I add veggie, even if I do like eggs or potato, just always add some veggie on it. Don't eat it just plain carbs, because it's just starting your morning on the wrong side, right? On the wrong way. So for lunch, let's say over here, this beautiful picture showing you how to eat fruits. Instead of eating chips, try to eat fruits. Like I said, it has have things available for you. Have little sip when you go to the supermarket. Put it in a Ziploc bag. Put hummus, put carrots, put different fruits, and add it to your salad or to your meal. That's a very, very good idea to start. Also add veggies on your sandwich, right? We wanted this big hamburger, well, add a lot of veggie, tomato, lettuce, tomato. Be creative. Just see the colorful, the rainbow, and I promise you, you will feel good. And your stomach too. For dinner, let's say you're gonna have these fruits with a salad green, right? Just be creative. Sometimes people do they add fruit like dry fruit. That's really good. You could do also almonds, or you could do all the type of uh, almonds and piece of dry fruit, whatever you call it. And just make, like, for example, I was very amazed. My daughter love mac and cheese. Well, you put veggie. You could put green peas there. That is amazing. And I promise this would satisfy you and your gut.
So, as we can see, being from the Caribbean and being taught that food overall is good for you, but we are never taught like which food are better and what to choose for your health and whatnot. I have learned that growing up, like legume, which is like a symbol of vegetable, was healthy. Not always true. In that legume, there was added a ton of salt, a ton of fat, which could be a health can put people health risk for blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, and whatnot. So we need to teach our patient how to choose, how to keep eating the same thing, but in a more healthier way by reducing the salt intake and the sugar intake. So, like Yessica said, we need color in our diet because it's more pleasant, it's happier. We don't want anything to be bland and boring because people tend to give up after one day of dieting when the food is bland, when there's no color, and where this it's not fun to look at. So here are the categories of color for the food that you need to add in your diet. So in the red and pink, we have beets, berry, red apple, red bell peppers, strawberries, tomatoes, watermelon. In the orange section is which is vitamin A, if I'm not mistaken, is acorn, squash, apricot, cantaloupe, carrot, orange, peaches, and sweet potatoes. Green, asparagus, broccoli, collard green, green bean, green bell pepper, kale, spinach. White, bananas, cauliflower, mushroom, onions, parsnip, potato, turnips. And on the purple and the blue and purple category, we have blueberry, blackberries, eggplant, fig, grape juice, plum, and red cabbage. Those are very great to control blood sugar, to get rid of cancer, or at least keep cancer at bay for a little bit longer, uh, control blood sugar, overall have a healthy lifestyle and diet. Um, if you can follow those colors and if this is helpful, I should I would probably follow that to be able to have a better diet and have a more colorful plate at the end of the day so that it doesn't get too boring as we get along in a better lifestyle. So the call of action is to eat healthy, right? So we want to eat at least 2 to 2.5 cup of fruit and vegetable every day. So it's 4 to 5 serving a day. Challenge yourself. Always challenge yourself to add more vegetable and more fruit during the day. I know it's difficult, like Jessica said. What you do with your daughter is put thing in a Ziploc bag and carry it around when, for example, you need a snack, for example, and like in between breakfast and lunch, you can eat like grapefruit, stick of celeries or carrots, like between lunch and dinner you can still do that, um and you can switch and play with your color. You can have carrots and grapes in the morning, and you can have an apple or a little bit of pineapple, like if you want to match the name. Like everything like have to make sense for you to enjoy your food at the end of the day.
And if you have any tips and questions, just go to hard.com or healthy for food and tips, and that give you all this information as well.
And I'm just going to read a couple of questions that we had in the chat from the members and see if we can kind of elaborate on them, just give a few more tips and tricks before we adjourn for the day. One of the participants asked about organic fruits and vegetables versus non-organic, and if it matters which one you buy. So Eunide messaged in the chat that the difference is organic vegetables and fruits are grown without any chemicals or pesticides, and so they are a little bit healthier, and sometimes they are more expensive though. But Velma, one of our other nurses, mentioned that less pesticides would go into your body. So, Jessica, did you have any thoughts on that or anything else to say there?
Well, yeah, let's think about the pesticide, the chemical. Just think about how nowadays they want everything fast, how they grow the crop, right? The vegetable. They want it one day, they put the seed, next day is already big, like the tree is big with so many fruits and vegetable. They adding things there, and it's obviously it's not the sun that's doing the magic, right? Let's think about outside the spectrum. So let's think about all the stuff they're adding to it. So they can have like the company can obtain what they want, right? However, we are the one eating those fruits and vegetables. So all those pesticides, the chemicals, it give us definitely inflammation when it comes to our gut. That's where everything starts. The gut has received. That's where the disease starts. This is the second brain. That's I always tell my patient. So everything you eat is gonna affect how you feel in the long terms, and all these inflammations with the pesticide, the chemical, the hormones, it's gonna be all over your body, and that's gonna create and that's gonna make us more vulnerable and more sicker. And therefore is that's why we just need to watch well our fruits and vegetable the right way, even though we buy it in a cheaper more economic way. Just watch it, learn how to wash it with
Mm-hmm.
baking soda, I heard, and other product. But yeah, those are my answer.
And I looked up just a little bit as well. It says that older studies have shown that organic foods may contain higher levels of antioxidants and the micronutrients such as vitamin C, zinc, and iron. So they may be more healthy in that way as well. That like you said, the fruits and vegetables aren't um, modified to grow really fast, so they are able to grow naturally and maybe produce more of those things that our bodies need. And in um, the point that she made about them being more expensive, I know that a lot of people can't, especially with the prices of all of the groceries going up, as I'm sure a lot of people have seen with inflation,
Mhm,
we can't
mhm.
always afford the organic version of everything. So the Environmental Work Group puts out a list annually of what they call their dirty dozen, and they list the top 12 fruits and vegetables that if you can afford to buy organic, get those organic, and then everything else you can just, purchase the regular. So for 2021 last year, their top three to buy organic if you can are strawberries, spinach, and greens. So mustard greens or kale. They said buy those. There's obviously 9 more because it's a dirty dozen. So if you want to go check that out, you can look up the Environmental Work Group or ewg.org to find out about the organic versus the inorganic. But it sounds like organic would be the best choice if we can. But like you said, if you can do cans, freezer, whatever you can do to get them in your diet, let's do it. That's the best thing, right? Let's see. We had a question. Do you recommend using 4 or 5 colors to heighten the appeal of the meal? So I guess we're asking about adding different colors. Does it matter if you add the same, all greens? Let's do peas and zucchini and another green vegetable, or do you want to mix the colors up? Does it matter that way?
It all depends on what the person preference. It all depends because, like I said, if you're doing a
Mm-hmm.
salad, you're already adding enough veggie and lettuce. So it would be good if you add a strawberry. So if you have, you seen all these
Mm-hmm.
orange and yellow peppers and green. I love those. I always buy them in my house, and my daughter be like, "Mommy, look, I love those colors. It's a rainbow." I always keep going because I'm teaching her the benefit of it, right? So definitely, they depending on the colors is this one that is has more antioxidant than the other one, and depending the vitamins, they all give more vitamins than the other, right? So if you want a
Mm-hmm.
colorful salad, just do different colors: red peppers, red, yellow, and red, yellow, and orange, and that would be good. Also, you can add many colors as you want, but just make sure don't put too much fruit or too much veggie. I mean, veggie is never enough, but fruits you want to watch out for the glucose and the sugar. But just if you want to add something like at least 5 colors, go ahead. That's no problem. But mix it, veggie and fruits.
And what about dried fruits? You mentioned adding dried fruits. Do you think that there's a difference whether you're eating a dried fruit or a fresh fruit? Can you talk about that?
Okay, so like okay, based on my research, I'm gonna be honest. They said it says in the research that can be healthy, right? However, sometimes they can modify it, and some of them can be more sugary. And it's just how they are processed. That's why I always recommend all my patients read the label. I know it's hard, but because they said it's good, right? It still have the fiber, they're able to storage there for longer time. But just make sure, just common sense, like read how many sugars are added, like it just I'm just concerned about the high sugar that can be there, but definitely they say it could be healthy in the on the other side. That's what I see.
Do you have any tips for eating smart on a budget? It's definitely helpful to shop in season. When you're, shopping for berries in summer, it's going to be more budget friendly than shopping for berries when they're out of season because they're going to be more expensive. So shopping foods that are in season will definitely help. I know that Eunide was going to share a couple of resources locally, but you can probably look into finding maybe a farmer's market or, maybe a local grocer that would sell produce at a reasonable rate. I know where I am, there are definitely stores that I shop at that I know are more reasonable than others. So just checking out different prices. What do you think, Yessica? Do you have another suggestion?
I agree with what you said. In season, I know they're expensive. Asparagus and berries, trust me, it's just getting expensive every day. When I go to supermarket, I'm like, what happened?
Mhm.
It's just getting the price goes going up. So I just my best. I agree with you. You just need to do your research before you go grocery shopping and see what vegetable are in season. To see, and also farmer market are very good way to go and get your veggies.
Great.
Also, I'm sorry, I would like
Yeah,
to add something as well.
okay.
Just your mindset has to, besides just buying things, your mindset has to change in a way that we all go for the carb and the protein right away when we go to the supermarket. But let's think about we can spend a little bit more money now that your mindset's different. That yeah, it is expensive, but your body needs it. So if you don't take care of it now, your body, you're gonna end up paying it to insurance. So let's think about what as just as you buy your carbs and your protein, think about veggie are important as well, because sometimes people don't have the mindset or the awareness, and they just pick one fruit, one this, they just don't pick as much. And I guess everybody has to at least just go in and go to the food shop, the products first, and start picking, and then later see, okay, I have extra for my carbs and my protein. So that's a mindset that we can work to as well. Just thinking that veggie are important and they're helping our body for us to live longer. Therefore, we need to spend money. I mean, in a way, regardless how we see it, but sometimes our mindset has to change, that the product has to be last, just as they put it next to the ice cream shop. We have to change a little of our mindset and see, yeah,
Mhm.
we do have to spend a little bit more than just compared to carbs and protein. So
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying we're either going to pay now or pay later. So you get to pick.
yes.
So Velma said that we should definitely think about talking with a nutritionist to develop an individual plan if we are looking to do big changes or make changes in our diet. So I think that's an excellent suggestion. Do you have any ideas on how a person could find a nutritionist if they wanted to do something like that? I know that
I
probably a doctor's office might have some resources, right?
Yeah. Doctor's office usually refer them to the nutritioner right there. They also can check for health coach as well. There's so many health coach that are certified and help them just guide them more every day. That's another choice that they can look into it.
Yeah, health coaches. And then insurance, I'm thinking also, sometimes insurance plans will have different services that are maybe not very well advertised. So if a person calls their insurance, like the member services line probably, and asks about nutritional help, they'll probably be able to connect them with some local resources.
Traditional dishes and then like delicacies that have been made a certain way for a long time. So how do you yeah, how will you what's your last advice or one more suggestion about how to manage that? How do you can you keep eating the same thing? I think you need to also mention it. but can you keep eating the same thing, or what can you remove? What can you add? How do you manage that?
Well, I would just start, and Jessica, I'll let you hop
Hmm.
in too. I would say, there are those traditional dishes you don't want to mess with. And so you don't have to. You can still have maybe a smaller portion of what you normally would eat and then add a salad on the side or use your snack time to get your fruits and vegetables in. Jessica talked about taking fruit on the go with you and using those times. The recommended serving, they said, was 4 to 5 per day. So
Hmm.
it doesn't say when you have to have them. You can use your snack times for fruits and vegetables. Um, and then, if there are some changes that you can make, then, make them. But I don't necessarily think you have to change your whole way of living, because those big changes like that sometimes aren't sustainable. You may, start doing really well for 1 or 2 trips to the grocery store, and then you kind of fall back into your old ways. So you want to make changes that will be permanent or long lasting for you.
Can I say something? Thank you, Sarah. I think
Yeah,
I
please do.
agree with you 100%. As a Caribbean, I get Bouba, his questions. So Sarah mentioned about our portion, which is very, very important. Like my clients, I tell the portion is very important, because what happened is when people start having a different learning a style, like, oh, tomorrow I'm starting a diet, it's very restricted, it's not sustainable, and so you're not gonna last. So basically you're not gonna last, you're not gonna get to what you want, because you'll be like, no, I'm not gonna leave my rice and beans from my mom, like she's the one cooking, like, so it's not sustainable. However, what I teach my clients and my patients, there's so many ways you can alternate the food that you eat. Like, let's say in Spanish community, we do sancocho, which is a soup, right, with all these things. You can still do it, but just don't add too many carbs or don't add the bad oil. I teach them how to start eating, choosing the right fat, like the oil, eating more avocado, or with the rice, instead of white rice they can alternate with the green rice, the brown rice, um and so many. So you can do the same dish but more healthy. And I'm, trust me, I'm so Dominican in this way, and I do it every single day. I alternate those little things, the salt, instead of doing the regular salt, I do the sea salt, and I still get the same dish, but it's just my palate has changed, and I love it how I do it. So just do portion if you want to moderate that, Booba, as well as just changing how you cook your meal in a healthier way. Because guess what? If you want to remove everything from the table and say I'm dining, that's not sustainable. It's not gonna last, and therefore it's been a failure for a lot of people. So I would just recommend, try to clean your food pantry, choose the right meat, right food. You like the meat, try to substitute it with another healthy meat, more organic meat, because that's the way how to substitute what you like. Because one night you're gonna be like, I'm hungry, and open the fridge and eat that cake, and guess what? That is gone. So it's just alternate portions. Don't restrict yourself. If you like something, just change the way how is made, and then you will be like, wow, let me just eat it once a week and not every day.
Yeah, and I just want to cover real quick one thing in the chat. It looks like Velma asked about what stops people from eating fruits and vegetables. So I think that might be a good way to close it out. We can kind of say what stops people, and then if we have anything to address about that, and then thank everybody for coming. So for me, I think what stops people from eating fruits and vegetables is maybe the way they were raised. We just kind of go with what we know. And like we mentioned in the program, if you don't know that you're supposed to have 4 to 5 fruits and veggies a day, or you didn't grow up with recipes that were really focused on having half of your plate fruits and vegetables, then you don't know to do that. So that's what I would say is maybe the main thing that I see stops people in my practice as a nurse. But now that we've had the webinar, I think we all have some tools and some tricks and some knowledge that will empower us to make some changes and help others in our family and future generations and our patients and our communities. So thank you all for coming, and that's a goodbye from me, Jessica.
Thank you, Sarah. That is, I agree with your point again. but I want to add something else. One stop people from eating fruits and vegetables. I'm gonna aside. Like, I do this every day. So one of the things that probably is stopping people, besides being raised in a different culture and not being brought to being creative, right? It's very important how you cook your food, because if you're not the one making the food, you're probably not gonna like it because that person is doing it the way that they want and whatever tastes good for them, right? You This is how I learned, and this is very personal. I was not raised with veggies and so many fruit, and I didn't know all these things until now, my age, right? Which I'm 36. However, um, when I learned how to cook my own veggie and put my own seasoning, right? That's what made it the change. Cooking the right, just putting the time and being creative and seeing the rainbow and be, oh my God, let me do this, let me do this. Now I'm fascinated of my food. And not only that, my husband loved it too. And I was like, wow, this is really good. But I liked it first. I cooked it, right? So being just see recipe, get idea, how can you cook your veggies and fruits, and knowing that it's just a veggie and fruit. Probably at the beginning it's not gonna taste as good, right? But just add your own taste. Even if you use salt, that's okay. Just let's try it with the first step of getting those veggie first, right? Veggie and fruits. And that would be the first step, the first action I can recommend you to do, guys. I really do. Just cook your own food at the beginning, modify it. Don't give up on that. Don't quit. You did it today, didn't taste good. Let me put more pepper. Let me put this. Next day, just don't give up on yourself, because veggie and fruits are what's gonna help you to live longer and live with no disease.
I wanna go back, I wanna